I came home early to surprise my wife, but it turned into a brutal revenge Reddit cheating stories. I never imagined my life could turn into the kind of nightmare people only whisper about. For years, I believed I had everything a man could ask for: a loving wife, a steady job, and a warm home. But sometimes, the very people you trust the most are the ones who hold the knife aimed straight at your back. My name is Daniel, and this is the story of how coming home early one evening to surprise my wife became the day my world shattered, and the day I took brutal revenge. It was a Friday, the end of a long and exhausting week. I had been working late nights for months, pushing through overtime just to save enough for a vacation my wife, Emily, had been dreaming about. We had been married for 7 years, and though the spark wasn't as fiery as in the beginning, I thought our love had matured into something deeper, something unshakable. To show her how much I appreciated her patience, I decided to leave work early. I even picked up her favorite flowers, a bouquet of sunflowers and roses, and a bottle of wine we'd shared on our first anniversary. My heart was pounding with excitement as I drove home, thinking about the look on her face when I surprised her. But the universe had other plans. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed a strange car parked outside. At first, I thought maybe it was a delivery or a neighbor's visitor. But as I walked to the front door, something inside me twisted. The curtains were half drawn, and from the narrow gap, I could see shadows moving across the living room. I laughed nervously, brushing it off. Maybe her friend came over, I whispered to myself, though deep down, dread was already creeping in. I opened the door quietly, still holding the flowers and wine. The sound that greeted me shattered my heart instantly. It was laughter. Emily's laughter, the same laugh I fell in love with years ago, but this time it wasn't for me. I heard a man's voice mixed with hers, playful and intimate. My hands trembled, the flowers slipping slightly from my grip. Step by step, I moved toward the living room, each breath heavier than the last. And then I saw it. There they were, Emily and another man, tangled together on our couch, kissing passionately. My couch. My home. My wife. For a moment, my brain refused to process it. The flowers dropped from my hand, scattering across the floor. The sound startled them, and Emily's eyes met mine, wide with panic. The man scrambled to cover himself, and I just stood there, frozen. I wanted to scream, to cry, to collapse, but I didn't. Instead, a cold calmness washed over me. Daniel, I can explain. She stuttered, her voice shaking. Explain. What explanation could there possibly be for this betrayal? I looked at her, then at him, and suddenly all those late nights at work, all the sacrifices, all the moments I blamed myself for her distance, it all made sense. She hadn't been lonely. She had been unfaithful. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. Instead, I took a deep breath, placed the wine bottle gently on the table, and said, "No, Emily. Don't explain. You've said enough." The calmness in my voice scared even me. I turned and walked out, leaving her calling after me. But that wasn't the end. Over the next few days, I battled with my emotions. The pain was unbearable, but anger fueled me. I couldn't let her get away with destroying everything we had built. And so, I decided to take a different path: revenge, not through violence, but through strategy. Emily had no idea what was coming. I started by gathering proof. The man she cheated with. Turns out, he was her coworker. I hired a private investigator who confirmed everything: hotel receipts, secret meetings, even photos. With every piece of evidence, the knife in my heart twisted deeper, but it also gave me strength. Then came the financial part. Emily and I shared a joint account, but I had always been the primary earner. Quietly, I moved my earnings into a separate account. I also contacted a divorce lawyer, one of the best in town. With the evidence I had, the case was airtight. The day I confronted her again, she didn't know what was coming. I invited her to dinner, keeping my tone warm, pretending I wanted to talk things over. She arrived looking hopeful, maybe even relieved. But when I handed her a folder filled with the evidence of her affair, her face went pale. "Daniel, please, I made a mistake," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. I looked at her, the woman I had once loved with everything I had, and felt nothing but emptiness. "No, Emily. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. And now, I'm making mine." The divorce was brutal, for her. She lost the house, most of the savings, and even her reputation at work once her affair with her coworker came to light. Meanwhile, I walked away with my dignity intact and the knowledge that I had not allowed her betrayal to define me. Revenge didn't erase the pain, but it gave me closure. And over time, I realized something important. Life doesn't end with betrayal. It begins again when you decide to reclaim your worth. Today, I stand stronger than ever. I learned that love should never come at the cost of self-respect. I came home that day hoping to surprise my wife with love, but instead, I discovered the truth, and it turned into a brutal revenge that set me free. And if you're listening to this, let my story be a reminder. Never give someone the power to break you beyond repair. Betrayal hurts, but your comeback will always speak louder than their lie.